The Senate health care plan is in critical condition. Right now, really.
It'll have to go to the emergency room.
It's in the emergency room now. The Congressional Budget Office says it's going to probably leave about 22 million more people without insurance. And so, I mean, part of the question I want to pose is, why are there so many other countries that are able to provide this? I mean, why can't we seem to get this
Because they see it as a basic human right, and we do not. Like, it's not considered that right now. People are looking at what they want to pay in and what they don't. There, it's not even discussed. It's this is part of it. Every human deserves health care.
But they don't exactly agree with that. The Republican Party, as it stands now, they worship the tax cuts. And because you worship tax cuts, which is what this taking all this money out of Medicaid is going to provide tax cuts for very well. People like, I make a decent amount of money. I'm going to get a big tax cut. And yet, I'm going to give that away. I'm giving it away because I don't deserve to get a tax cut.
Yeah.
I don't. And neither does anybody at this table and anybody who's working on television. Because we are people who are privileged in this country. And people who are so privileged should not be taking money from the top so that people in the bottom, or wherever they are, can't get decent health care. It's not fair. It's not American. It's mean. As Donald Trump said, it's mean. It is mean.
But I don't understand why we all can't have it. I don't understand why everybody, because you know what? I make a good living, but I also support folks who need stuff. So for me, it's like, listen, there is no reason why everybody in this country, we pay for everything else. We've paid for so many things. We've given lots of big tax cuts to folks. So why can't everybody have health care that we either pay for or help other people pay for? Because I pay for wars. I don't believe in war.
You know, there's a certain amount of resentment. Let me just say one point. There's a certain amount of resentment that people, like, for instance, Medicare was very controversial at one point because people who have a lot of money are also getting Medicare.
Right.
I mean, I use Medicare. I'm old now. I know. I am. I go in. I walked into a, what do you call those, walk-in clinics? And they do this, they do this, they do that. I say, how much do I owe you? Nothing. Zero. And so I'm a person who was privileged, as I said before, who also benefits from a free system because of my age.
But your free system, this free system that you're benefiting from, is one that, as an American citizen, you should have access to, because nobody's taking your insurance now. You go to the doctor and you're paying cash.
But what
and
I'm
I don't care who you are.
There's resentment in it, though. There's resentment.
I don't know if there's resentment.
That people say, why should you get free medical care on my dollar? And especially when you don't need it.
Because you do need it because no one will take your insurance. And that's a huge issue.
I mean, the issue, though, in this country is, though, that there's a fundamental difference between people on the left and right as to how to go about it. I know people on both sides of the aisle that want people to have better quality of care, that want people to be able to choose their doctors, to lower their costs, but some on the left feel that it's the government's job to do that. They want single payer, and some on the right feel, no, you know what? The problem is that the government is too involved, and the regulations, which is how I feel, the regulations are making these costs rise for people, and we need a real free market approach with competition in order to make it fair for everyone. Now, let me just, one correction.
Go ahead.
This plan, the GOP plan, which, by the way, I don't like, I would have voted against, Medicaid spending still goes up by $71 billion. It's just not going up as the same rate. And those 22 billion people that are not going to have insurance anymore, some of those people aren't going to have insurance because they don't want it, because they're taking the mandate away, so they're empowering people to say, we don't want insurance.
But because they're young and healthy now, and they may not be tomorrow.
I apologize.
The problem with the free market system, though, is that it's contingent upon people paying for their own health insurance. And the problem with that is rich people can afford it, but usually the poorest people are the sickest, which means the people that need health insurance the most can't pay for it.
Can I take a shot at
People who need insurance the most under Obamacare saw their premiums skyrocket. Many people, low-income people, saw their premiums skyrocket.
You always say that we're going to come back and we're going to talk some more. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.